You know, lately I've been thinking. Lately I've been thinking a lot. Not as someone trying to trying to analyze everything. Not as an expert. Just as a normal person trying to make sense of everyday life. And one question just keeps coming back to me. Why is all the money there? Not in a dramatic way, not in an accusing way. Just genuinely trying to understand. Because if you really look at everyday life right now, things feel tight. I don't know if this is the right term to use. Like properly tight. You go to the shop, you pick up a few basic things and somehow your money just disappears. Your money just disappears faster than you think, faster than you expected. You even start doing the thing where you calculate in your head, okay, if I put this back, maybe I can afford this one. And then you reach the counter and still you're surprised. Wait, how did it reach that much? And the worst part is that 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 feeling is becoming I won't say much film story same. And don't even get me started with school fees. That one is a different kind of pressure. Even if you don't have a child in school yet, you can already feel it coming. Like me, my kid isn't even in school yet, but I'm already stressed. Like first term starts tomorrow. I'm looking at prices now. Like okay, if this cost if this is the cost today, what about in a few more years? You start planning early, not because you want to, but because you have to. It's like preparing for something you can't afford. And parents who already have kids in school, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That feeling when the term is getting close, you start calculating everything, rearranging your budget, delaying other things just to make sure school is covered. Because at the end of the day, education is not something you can say no to. So even before the child enters the classroom, the pressure has already entered the home. And sometimes I just sit and think about it. If if I'm already feeling this now, what's it going to be like later? I laugh a little about it, but deep down, it's serious. So when you step back and look at all of this, you start asking yourself, why does it feel like well we're we're always catching up, but never getting ahead? And again, I'm not saying this to blame anyone, because running a country is not simple. There are systems, there are layers, there are decisions being made at levels most of us don't even see. But at the same time, people living through it, it's normal to wonder because we know money exists in the system. We hear about budgets, we hear about projects, we hear about funding being allocated, big numbers too, millions, billions, numbers so big you actually stop understanding them. Like someone says billion and you just nod, but deep down you're like, I don't know how many zeros that is in. But then you come back to real life, and real life is not billions. Real life is, do I have enough for this week? Can I cover this expense? What do I need to sacrifice this time? And that gap between big numbers and everyday life, that's that's where the confusion starts, because it feels like two different realities. There's the on paper reality, and there's the on on ground on ground reality, and they don't always match. And I think that's where a lot of people feel stuck, not just financially, but mentally. Because you're trying to move forward, but things keep pulling you back. You try to save, something comes up. You try to plan, prices change. You try to get ahead, and life just says, not this time. And sometimes because what else can you do? You check your account balance and smile, like, okay, we are surviving on vibes this week. Even budgeting becomes creative. You're like, okay, this money is for food, this money is for transport, and this one we pray over something. But jokes aside, this is real life. This is real life for a lot of people. And I feel like we don't always talk about it. We don't always talk about it properly. We either stay quiet or we go straight into it. There's not enough space where people just talk honestly, talk honestly. But the truth is, everyone's experience is different. Some people might say things are improving, and they might be right from their perspective. Others might say things are getting harder, and they're not wrong either. Both realities can exist at the same time, and that's important to understand. Because sometimes we argue not because one person is wrong, but because we're experiencing different versions of the same country. And when you think about public money, it's just it's not just numbers on a paper. It's supposed to translate into real things, real services, real improvements, real opportunities. So when people don't feel those improvements directly, they start questioning, they start asking questions. Not always because something is wrong, but because something is unclear. And when things are unclear, people fill the gaps with their own conclusions. And that's when conversations get messy. Because now it's no longer about understanding, it becomes about assumptions. And assumptions can go anywhere. That's why I think conversations like this matter. Not to point fingers, not to act like we have all the answers, but just to say, this is what I am experiencing. Yeah. What about you? Because at the end of the day, this system affects all of us. Whether you're working, running a small business, in school, or just trying to figure life out, we're all connected to it in some way. And I think sometimes we forget that. We talk about the system like it's something far away, but it's not. It's part of everyday life. It's in the prices we pay, it's in the services we use, it's in the opportunities we either get or don't get. And again, I'm not here to say this is right or this is wrong. I'm just here thinking out loud, trying to understand, trying to hear different perspective. Because maybe someone watching this will say, actually, from where I am, things are improving, and that's valuable. Or someone else might say, no, things are harder, that's also valuable. Because the truth is probably somewhere in between, and the more we talk about it, the clearer that picture becomes. Yeah. So I just want to ask you honestly, how are things for you right now? Not what you heard, not what someone said, but your real everyday experience. When you go out, when you spend, when you plan, does it feel manageable or does it feel like you're constantly adjusting just to keep up? No pressure, no right or wrong answer. Just be real, because these are the kinds of conversations we need more of. No noise, no arguments, just real people sharing real experiences. I'll be in the comments reading through everything. So yeah, let's talk.